Hi, and welcome to my channel, Dream Girl Trucking. Today I have a video for you about my favorite things about being an over-the-road truck driver. And this is going to be a pretty interesting video because I don't know yet what you guys are seeing, but for me, the further I sit back, the smaller my head gets and the bigger my body gets. So I'm going to sit forward. And at the end of the video, I want to talk to you about a little problem with parking and how we can fix it. So, without further ado, because y'all all know I just hate those videos where they just chatter and chatter and chatter on before they get to the point, you know, chattering like this. Anyway, I love driving right now. It happens to be October the 2nd. And up in the mountains, the trees are, the leaves are already changing color. So this is one of my favorite times of the year for driving around the beautiful Northeast and, you know, up along the northern states where all the trees are, because they're not all evergreen, you know, and people pay a lot of money to go on vacation just to drive up here and look at the leaves when they change color. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. And that's really a perk of being an over-the-road truck driver, is getting to see that every year. And, you know, the great thing is that it gives way to the snow season, which snow in and of itself, it can be beautiful, but, you know, just on the trees, and even though there's no leaves on them, they're, you know, just dead trees, but they are crusted with snow and ice, and you know, the ice sticks to them and it just glistens like trees made out of diamonds. You know, it's just so gorgeous. And, you know, so much of these mountains, they have rushing streams next to them. You know, you can look, you know, out to the side and look down and see the water and how beautiful it is. And when it ices up, and in the wintertime you drive through the mountains and they're all dripping water, and you really don't think much of it in the summertime, but in the wintertime that has those water drips have frozen on top of each other, and they've just made icicles just coming down off of the side of the mountain, and they're just so beautiful. There's so much beauty up here, and to see. Not really so much if you're one of those people who likes running the southern route, you know, California, Texas, Louisiana, and Florida. And that's just fine. That's just fine. That's really safe, and you don't have to worry about your fuel gelling up and stuff like that. But, you know, I really like driving in the wintertime. The Northeast is my favorite area to drive, which is weird because, you know, I'm from Texas, so used to the heat. Like this summer, I was in the desert and I checked the temperature back home. It was hotter in Texas than in the desert. What does that tell you? Anyway, people say, how do you live there? And we say, we stay in the house, except for when we go out on the water. But, so there's that. This job is great because there is absolutely nobody's butt to kiss. Your lips are your lips, and you can use them however you want to, which means if you need to tell somebody off, you can. And you know, of course, be nice, but it's not like you're working in an office or you're working in a warehouse and, you know, your boss is not right there on you. You know, you got a lot more freedom out here. And even with Crete, you know, one of the things that people say they don't like about Crete, which, look, I got a new Crete shirt, is that they tell us where to fuel along our route and how much fuel to get, when we can fill up, when we can get 60 gallons, blah, blah, blah. And then if you don't do what they tell you to enough times, they'll restrict your fuel card, so you have to. But you know, that's not really a problem because, you know, even if you're in an office or a warehouse or you're working in a mechanic shop, your boss is there. And when your boss tells you to do something, that's what you have to do the boss's way. Out here with the fuel stops, I have skipped my fuel stops because I don't need fuel. I don't have time. I just send in another request and so they can tell me some other place to fuel. And, you know, really this is their business. And if you had, let's say you just had 2 trucks and you want to maximize your fuel efficiency, then, you might, scrutinize the route and see where to buy the fuel and who's got it cheapest or whatever. And ask your driver, would you please stop here on your route for fuel? Because it saves me, $30. The fuel guy told me, the guy who does the routing out in Wilmer, he told me that Crete saves about, I can't remember how many billions, but it was $1 billion a year is what he said, just telling us where to fuel. So, it's not unreasonable. This is a company that gives back to their employees, especially with the, oh, now I can't think of the word for it, but anyway, our, it's where the employees, I can't believe I can't think of this. I'm sure it's just because I don't know how to edit videos. That's just my luck. So I've got to sit here and go, anyway, so profit sharing, that's it. And so I guess chitter chattering on your video really is worthwhile sometimes, right? Anyway, our drivers retire with $1 million and $2 million, because of little things like that, because of them telling us where to fuel. And again, we don't have to. They're not sitting in the passenger seat saying, oh, here's your fuel stop. Don't you dare pass it. Don't you dare. We do what we want. There's not a lot of repercussions out here. And, I haven't had any for passing my fuel stops. Nobody's ever said anything. Just send me another fuel solution. And I've passed 2 of them on the same trip. And they just send me another one. They don't say anything to me. So you get a lot of freedom out here and freedom to do as you want. You can run on recaps, or you could take a 34 each week. Usually I have always run on recaps until I got to this company, and now I take my 34 because they do keep me running all the time. I will run until I am out of hours, and I run legal. That's not a problem. But, I just do run until I'm out of hours, and I like my 34s. I like to stop and, do my laundry, do my nails. I've been working on my certifications for insurance, and there's just all kinds of things. And I'm just so bad. I brought a stack of mail from home. It's like this. Well, it's still back there, and that was Thanksgiving, and I just said it's the Thanksgiving. That was 4th of July, and I just said it's October. I just was looking at it thinking, God, I wish I hadn't brought that mail. Anyway, so I like that. You could bring your pet. You can bring your spouse. With some companies, they don't care. You can, I'm here, you could bring your kid too. They had to be a certain age, which is reasonable, because a lot of places you can't take your kids in with you to check in at the shippers and the receivers. And, they don't want kids in here, pushing the brakes and messing with the stuff and, causing the truck to roll or something like that. It could be dangerous. But, yeah, you can do that. We got 2 bunks in here. And so I like that. I like the freedom to do what I want to do and go where I want to go. And, I can, on my 34s, I can bobtail around and do some shopping. Because a lot of times, like right now, I'm doing a 34, and I'm at the yard in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. And so there's a free laundry. I can bobtail around. There's 4 company cars here. So, I'm going to go to Walmart after I make this video and get some supplies. I can just do what I want to do. If I want to go to a movie, I can, bobtail over to the movies, because the cars were only supposed to take them for an hour, because they said people were taking them off for like, many, many hours. So they had to restrict it, which is understandable. So, I could do a lot of what I want. Here's another good thing about, driving over the road, and maybe this is just because I'm single, I don't have any pets or anything like that, but I can go and visit my family and my friends, and so wherever in the country they are, and I do that on my 34s. I don't have to. I could take like home time there, but, I don't want to make a pest of myself, and I really want to make money. So, a 34 is good. It's a day and a half. I can get my stuff done in my truck. Let's say I get there Friday night. So I would, like Friday, middle of the day. They can get me Saturday. We can spend all day Saturday, going out to eat, whatever, seeing the family, doing the visiting, everybody gets together, blah, blah, blah. And then Sunday morning I take off again. So, you know, hit it and get it. And, still making money, still get to tour the country, seeing stuff. Anytime that I want to, I can go to certain parts of the United States and, Uber over to here or there or, whatever. And, I checked on renting a car. It's like $300 for a day. Man, I could rent an Uber for half of that amount, I'm sure. And, they could just take me wherever I want to go for the day. Not bad. So, I could go fishing or, go and, tour some, go to Graceland or whatever, There's just so much to do out here, and you got the freedom to go and do it. We call ourselves paid tourists, and when everybody talked on the CB radio, remember this, everybody who knows, our dispatchers were our travel agents, and our paper logs were our comic books, but that was a whole different story. Now that's a different story. Anyway, so those are the things that I like the most about driving, the freedom, and you got to not mind the solitude to be out here. You do have to not mind the solitude, but then again, you can bring your spouse, so that's pretty cool. And your kids, in the summer, I think you can only bring one kid at a time. I'm not sure, but there are other places where they don't have the age limits. You can bring more kids. It just depends on what company you go with. And if you're thinking about driving a truck, you'll want to call around and, ask those questions and do the interviewing yourself. So you think that, and that's another thing. In all your other jobs, they're interviewing you. But when you're a truck driver, you're interviewing them because they need you. So anyway, make your list and get online. Facebook is a good place to get answers, Facebook and YouTube. And my little Crete push for the day is I got this shirt, and I got a jacket. I got two jackets. This one here is pretty cool, and it's even got a port for my headphones. And so I got a waterproof one with a hoodie that zips up the front. I got a short sleeve t-shirt, and they throw in a free ink pen, and they just take it out of my check. So it was like $150. And she goes, well, because I thought $150, man, I'm gonna miss that. But I'll get over it. And she goes, well, do you want this to be taken out in 3 payments? And I'm like, oh, yes, I do. So that's pretty cool too. And they got a lot of stuff at the company store. I got it over there in Lincoln, but you can also get stuff online too. So now I said I was going to talk about the parking problem. There's something I want everybody to be aware of, and that is a bill called HR 2187. And if you don't know what happens to a bill, the life of a bill is, since you're already on YouTube, just look up Schoolhouse Rock, I'm Just a Bill, and it'll tell you everything. A lot of y'all might remember it was a cartoon on Saturdays. They would come on during the commercials and explain stuff to you. So it tells the story of this little cartoon Bill, and he's hoping he gets to live and he doesn't die in committee, because that's what happens to bills. Somebody sponsors them, and then they get a co-sponsor, and the more sponsors that sign on politicians, the better the chances that the bill will move out of committee and go to the floor to be voted on. And then they make the changes to it on the floor, either the House or the Senate, whichever one. And once they make their changes and they vote yes, the majority, then it goes to the other. So the House and then the Senate, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's the way it goes. I don't know if these are Senate bills or House bills. But HR 2187 would probably be a House bill. And so anyway, then it'll go to the Senate, where they either vote yes or no, or they talk about it and make some changes and vote yes. And I think that it has to go back. But anyway, that little video will show you. But after both the House of Representatives and the Senate votes yes, then they send it on to the president or the governor, depending if it's a state bill or a national bill. And then the governor or the president either signs it or he vetoes it. which is, he kicks it out. So we don't want H.R. 2187 to languish in committee until it dies, and then we have to start all over again, rewriting it, and so that we can make our representatives happy so they'll vote yes for it. So H.R. 2187 is the Truck Parking Safety Improvement Bill, or Act rather, and it's sponsored by Mike Bost, B-O-S-T. He is a Republican out of Illinois, and it's co-sponsored by Angie Craig. She's a Democrat out of Minnesota. So it would be nice if you guys could send a simple email to them and say, thanks for doing this. You know, we really support it or whatever. So they've got to hear from us. They've got to hear from us, and if we want our bill to live. And the whole thing, I looked on Mike Bost's website. He's got, you know, a thing on there, and it says proper rest equals highway safety for everybody. And that's true. And we all know that even though there's so much that I love about driving, the thing I hate about driving is that if I don't stop by a certain time each evening, it's really hard to find a parking space. And then when I do find a parking space, I have to try and think, well, how could somebody come along and park me in, because they can't find a parking space, so they have to park where it's not a parking space. Most of us have had to get out and knock on somebody's door and say, you need to move so I can get out, you know. So we really need this. We really do. It's H.R. 2187. So everybody, please get behind this. Put it on your Facebook groups. Tell your truck driving friends about it, and we got to send the emails in, you guys. It's just so simple to send an email. You can do that from your phone. Send an email in and say, thank you for this bill, and, you know, and please vote for it. Your own representative. Send an email to your own representative and say, H.R. 2187, I want you to get behind it. It means a lot to me. So that's all you got to do. So thanks for being a proactive truck driver. If you're not a truck driver yet, what are you waiting for? This is my CB radio, and I need something to keep these things from getting all tangled up all the time. Anyway, so you guys, I want you guys to have a really good day today, and put your comments at the bottom, what you like about driving a truck, because I know a bunch of you guys are already drivers, and you know, I really love to hear from you. I met a guy here at Pennsylvania today, and he said, I recognize you, and it was before my shower, so I did not look like this, okay? And so he goes, I recognize that face. And so he recognized me from YouTube. He gave me a hug and everything. It was really cool, you guys. I'm real talkative, in case y'all don't know. Super approachable, even when I'm wearing a frown. And so anyway, everybody have a great day. Thanks for watching my video with my teeny tiny little head and my big body.